This is a nettle pot in Loondale near Middleton and Teesdale, and we just like helping the walkers on the spine and the runners, and just if a quick cup of tea and a little bit of flapjack can help them on their way, that's why we do it. Just, yeah, give them a little boost to help them on the way.
Instead, we started off wondering what the lights were coming over the hill, and we soon found out what they were, and they wanted to help.
And enjoying some wonderful tea and some fabulous gingerbread. Thank you, Mrs.
Foster.
Mrs. Foster.
Oh,
amazing,
hey.
amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you.
How's it right? Well, I've been bashing away for a little while. This is my eighth. I've done both winter challenges. I've had a go at the full a few times, 3 times. Haven't finished it yet, but and I've promised my wife this is the last time. So I'm pretty determined to finish it. And tell you what, as of a very unfortunate incident has given me an extra motivation. Chris Cope, who was an absolute hero, and I'm massively impressed by. He and I are both type 1 diabetic, and I assumed Chris was going to be the first diabetic to finish a full winter spine, but because he's had to fall out with illness, that gives me the opportunity to be the first diabetic to complete full winter.
All right, it's I think the 60-odd mile/hour winds on Kinder, crossing the road to then the slush and the river crossings. It's been alright, but didn't get much sleep last night. But feeling better today. There is, I believe, MRT in 2 mile, 3 mile. So hopefully get a cup of tea and crack on.
Staying upright, it's very slippy on the tops, but we're getting there. Make the most of the daylight.
Good.
Thanks.
A bit slow.
Wish we brought a higher sun factor.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a bit slow. I genuinely thought I was going to be a bit faster than this, and I don't know who I was kidding. But anyway, apart from that, it's going really well.
Brutal. Kinder Scout was horrific, and I live around the corner from there, and it was yeah, really bad. But yeah, I loved it. Loved being out in it.
What's your main reason for doing the spine?
So my main reason for doing the spine is to raise money for a veterans charity that helps assist injured servicemen and women that require assistance in after military life. The charity is called Belisma, and I've raised £1,200 so far. And yeah, so I've always raised money for veterans charities over the years.
This year is for training for the Arctic Spine. So slow and steady this year, no racing or pushing. No.
And how have you found the conditions so far?
I prefer that the snow had been laying, but today it's pretty good. Much of the water had drained out, and it's starting to dry out. Last night was wet.
Hello and welcome to the Montane Winter Spine Race coverage here on Monday. It is a rather exciting day on the course and I've got lots of updates to bring to you at the time of recording. Right now it's sort of mid-morning on Monday. We've had lots of things happen through the night in both the full race, the Challenger North and the Challenger South. And then obviously throughout today we're going to see lots of changes up and down the fields. But I thought, as sort of entering the position of Arch Dot Watcher right now, I thought I'd grab the tracker up, have a look around and tell you all what's going on and what's been going on right now. Through the night, severe weather and treacherous, slippy ground caused all sorts of issues for some of our front runners. We saw John Kelly and Chris Cope both encountering difficulties, as well as Alice Kershaw. They're all safe and well, but they've chosen the brave sort of step to end the race here. That's not uncommon for many runners in the race, and it's always a tough decision, but it's brave and courageous to be able to decide, you know what, this is the time to stop for me and end my race here. When it's slippery conditions, cold and wet, it's always sensible to err on the side of caution. However, for the elite field of the race, that's up at the front, that has left things wide open in both the men and women's races, which is pretty exciting. So, in the women's race, Johanna Antilla is way out of front at the moment. Behind her is Anna Troop. Now, Anna Troop needs no introduction, and she's a slow builder throughout the week usually as well, so I would expect to see her begin to slowly reel in that gap as the week goes on. However, chasing them, Fiona Horsfield and Sophie Grant, super quick runners with a pretty small gap in behind there, nothing insurmountable over the course of 260 odd miles, and yeah, they're in there being spurred on by a great chasing pack in behind. That's made up of Linda Hubbard, Victoria Morris, Alessia Goreski and Ali Bailey too. So in that sort of top 10 realm of the women, it's all very close and very, very exciting. In the men, with John and Chris dropping out, it's thinned the field a little bit, but we have got a fair few sort of battles occurring. Eugenie Rosello Sole, he has extended his lead at the front of the race. Now, Eugenie won the race in 2013, but since then he's not quite managed to reach those heights that he once did. However, if the stars align this year, I mean, what an incredible comeback story that would be, and what a great racer this man is if he can just get things to line up right for him. In behind him is the three Jameses, James Nobles, Hargreaves and Leavesey. They're running together within sort of a few kilometres of one another. There's been some issues with their feet, I think, all three of them. Particularly James Nobles, he's pretty sore at the moment, but if he can get over that and get his head in the game, then there's a very, very good chance they can close in that gap to Eugenie as the race builds. Behind them, Sebastian Reichon, he is one of the European runners, but he's sticking in close to that group as well and keeping it pretty competitive at the front. As you'll have seen last night, Sarah Page claimed victory in the Women's Challenger South race. Brilliant time from her, yeah, she put in an excellent performance to build a huge gap over the rest of the women's field there and storm into victory. Jack Scott won the race in the men's field. Jack also put in a blisteringly large gap to the second placed men and behind him, and yeah, it looked pretty cold and wet when he got in there at the finish line. The team squirreled him away, looked after him, and yeah, what a performance from Jack. We also saw Sarah Perry and John Evanson taking wins in the MRT Challenge races. Sarah Perry is on a tremendous run of ultra running form at the moment, and John also put in a great race to come in there and win it for the men.
Bye. Have a great time. My name is Ben Potts and my race number is 225.
How's the race been going for you so far?
Pretty tough first day into Hebden. Lots of snow, very slippy, very slushy, so a mixture of conditions, but very good fun nevertheless.
It's hard. Definitely, I think, harder than I expected, and I thought it was going to be very hard. So yeah, the weather's definitely been pretty challenging. I'm one of the very few Americans out here, so I keep reminding myself that I have a lot of time and just kind of cruise along, and you know, I think it'd be a good showing if the Americans can finish out here.
So I'm here in one of the bunk rooms in Hawes, so when the athletes come into the Hawes checkpoint, this is a luxury that they get to sleep in before heading out up Great Shunnefell, which is immediately after they leave this checkpoint. and then they go over the boggy moorland and end up at the Tan Hill pub. They can stop at the Tan Hill. Sometimes the pub putters tea and soup on up there, so a lot of people choose to sleep up there rather than to sleep in these beds if they think it's going to be a little bit too noisy. Obviously you can see at the moment there's nobody in these beds, but it's not always that luxury, and when you're tired you will sometimes sleep anywhere anyway, so it doesn't matter. They'll go through the bogs after the Tan Hill pub, which are notorious and can be waist deep, and then they'll make their way on. Eventually they'll get to Langdon Beck, which is the next checkpoint after this one. A lot of these runners now are going into the second night, which is when the sleep demons can get them. You might notice on the trackers that some of the runners will choose to stay here for sort of half hour, just refuel and then crack on, whereas some have stayed a little bit longer, had sort of half an hour up to an hour's sleep before going into this second night. The weather here at the moment is really, really windy. The rain stopped for them luckily, but it won't make it any less draining as they climb up to Great Shunner Fell. Great Shunner's not the highest point on the course, but it's really exposed up there, and it's a constant climb up into what will be quite a strong headwind before they get to the top, and then they've got a nice long descent down into Thwaite. This checkpoint here at Hawes is often a decision point for a lot of the athletes. They've been on the feet now since 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. We're now into Monday night, so they're going into the second night of moving, and they need to decide whether they have a sleep here or whether they try and push on to either the next checkpoint at Langdon Beck or up to the Tan Hill, where they can get a sleep on a really nice hard wooden stage rather than these lovely beds that we've got here, but it will be a little bit quieter up there. The thing that they have once they get to this point is you're already sleep deprived. You're trying to make those decisions whether to sleep now or carry on. You want to carry on, but you don't know whether to sleep, so it's all a bit of a mind game at this point for them.
The wind was brutal, the rain was just awful, and the wind hasn't really stopped, but the rain has gone, which is good news. But yeah, last night was tough and long, but yeah, it was good fun. So what we signed up for?
I'm doing the Spine Challenge on North, and I'm heading back to Scotland to see my mum because she's not very well at the moment, I've just found out, so that's added an extra stress to my race, but I'm getting there step by step.
I'm 963, Hannah France.
960, Anna Danby.
959, James Cooper.
We
Another 50
had
miles.
a very wild night.
Yeah, it's really long and it's really cold.
Yeah, I think the ice was really challenging because it's really mentally difficult, because with or without spikes, there was a lot of thinking that had to go on, as well as legs.
Yeah.
Good bit of Scottish weather last night coming over from Kell. Thwaite. So.
And we're part of Loch Arbour Mountain Rescue Team. So that's why we're here. Maybe actually we're here because she said it was a good idea. But we're also raising money for Loch Arbour Mountain Rescue.
Careful.
The reason I'm doing it is for a charity that's very close to us. I've got a niece with a life-limiting illness, and she goes to a respite place called Forget-Me-Not's Children's Hospice in Huddersfield, and that's why I'm here raising money for them.
This morning it's been the wind, so the diversion has led us around Cauldron Snout. So we've had to take a road, and the wind's been like in your face. It's been quite strong. So last night there was lots of snow, but there's always ice everywhere. And then the rain's come, but the rain's been driving rain because of the wind. But this morning after leaving Langdon Beck, it was all about the wind. So that's been quite debilitating. A friend of mine is got an incurable brain tumour, and she's got a charity called Brain Tumour Focus. So part of what I'm doing is raising funds and awareness for Mel and her plight, and hopefully as a consequence of that we'll be able to buy a very unique MRI scanner for brain tumours, which will be match funded by Leeds Teaching Hospital.